Greetings for the first time on F1 2018, ladies and gentlemen. It has certainly been a while since I've done a commentary, but here we are in beautiful France, Paul Ricard to be exact, for the first of 3 pre-season races for PRL PS4 Pacific Season 11. Now in qualifying, some drivers may or may not have been sandbagging, but we end up 7th. Stewart and Pure Axel make up the front row, both New Zealanders, both Sauber drivers, so they're looking very strong. What wasn't looking strong was the formation lap and its disregard for people completing it. Disqualifications for around half the grid and no contact to spark that chain reaction. So at this point in the season we're not running the formation lap. Just a bit unfair for those who can heat their tyres better or how they prefer to. Anyhow, off the line, not the greatest traction. Instantly we're going to shed 2 positions, one on each side. There's a Red Bull and a McLaren going around us. Not only that, we also get overtaken around the outside, a bit of a boxed-in manoeuvre there. Through comes Travis on his return to PRL in the Renault. The guys in front may stretch away, so it's time to get past as soon as possible. However, into this chicane, didn't quite brake at the right point. However, I was lucky I did because he turned across and I could have been spun out there. Anyhow, the move would be completed on this next straight up towards the sweeper called Seine, I believe, if that's how I pronounce it, and up into P9, a lowly place for the reigning champion, but of course there's plenty of time to go. Oh, that was very close, just fit through the gap there and also got onto the power a bit too early, trying to avoid the spinning Red Bull. And a brief battle with the McLarens. Into the pits we came. It's actually undercut by the McLaren there of Turtle Fitz. Had a great run on him though here on the back straight. So that was one McLaren down for the moment. However, his teammate will come out of the pits right in front of us, and there wasn't much I could do through turns 1 and 2. Now let's talk about the season. We're in Toro Rosso this time round. Not only that, but once again, teammates with my fiancée, Danny Rocks.
You've been awarded a time penalty for that last incident.
Excuse the lack of turn there, as I completely missed the turning point and actually missed the track as well. We've decided to go to Toro Rosso, leaving Mercedes, hopefully getting our 3rd consecutive Constructors' Championship, as Hazard is absolutely deposited there. That was not Craig's fault. We saw his footage. Purely lag. So that was very unfortunate and something to watch out for as we go into the actual season. That left a battle on the last lap between Craig and I for the podium, at least until penalties were applied, and we did get that move done on the way into the chicane. He was not done though, did not give up the position that easily. Very close behind me, in fact I think there was some lag involved there too, as I felt a little bit of contact. He tried around the outside, but it wasn't enough because I actually had the preferred line into the last turn. He would get a great exit though and challenge me towards the line. Not quite enough. However, the penalty would see him up onto the podium and we ended up in P5. Moving swiftly along to Germany, and this time qualifying went a little bit better for yours truly. Briefly had pole, but I would sink to P2. However, it's not the P7 we started in Paul Ricard. Pure Axel once again on the front row, this time with pole position. Sauber looking very strong at this stage, 1st and 2nd on the grid, and in the race at Paul Ricard now 1st and 3rd. However, I got a great start in comparison to the other 2 pre-season races, you'll see Singapore later, and took the lead. So at this point, it looked positive. However, that didn't last very long. Lap 4 now, tyres had already overheated, especially the rears, and I was a passenger essentially. Didn't really make a mistake, other than maybe I should have pitted, given the tyres were that hot, and I couldn't recover them at all, had to pit. Changed the wing as well, so a lot of time loss in that phase, down into, I believe, P5. A lot of other drivers having issues as well. You'll see some later in my highlights, and obviously out of the race.
That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
So many drivers retired from this one. A mixture of lack of practice, setups that weren't working, especially as the tyres went on and on through the stint. And as you can see, this Williams here of HSV thought he had it under control. Unfortunately, ploughed into the wall on the left, retiring as well. Look how many names are greyed out as you go through this race. Hazard ends up in the wall on the inside at turn 1. His car got very angry with that too and started to move a barrier out of the way quite spectacularly. Anyhow, once again that was a 1-2 for the Saubers, and now in Singapore, before I even start my lap, my DRS is broken.
DRS will be offline. There's a fault with the rear wing system.
So, P9, my actual DRS never came back online. So here I am, well towards the back, on Ultras though. And now another issue, my controller was disconnected. So since then I've actually had to change to a new controller. It was apparently dying in some way. Anyhow, off the start, and as you'd expect, massive amount of wheel spin, and we lose so many positions down to P14. And we do manage to get some of those back around the outside at turn 1. Tremor takes advantage of me around the outside. Great move, double move in fact by the Ferrari driver, also in my strategy, as we pick up Guad's position there as he makes slight contact with the back of that Ferrari. I got a little bit sideways, and that was enough for Kart Dude to pounce. He tried it down the inside, pushed us both very wide, couldn't get the power down himself though, so I maintained 10th position. As you can see, the other Williams getting very sideways, holding Kremer up actually, and I was able to sneak down the inside into the sling. I'm not sure if it's still called the sling, given that it's not a chicane anymore, but I'll call it the sling for now. HSV though just could not get the rear to stick to the track through every corner that I was following him on this quite fateful lap. He was fully sideways and eventually just broke down, cars everywhere. Remember, we started this lap in 10th position with Kremer in 9th in front of us, and in no time cars just fell off the road. Everyone on Ultras, either in the pits or in the wall or facing the wrong way. That included Craig here. Through turn 1 he can't quite get the rear to stick where he wants it, has to bail out of the corner, and just like that we moved up 10th to 3rd. Kremer also gaining a lot of positions that lap. Talking of Kremer, he had to take evasive action here. I actually braked far too early. I got really sick there going down that straight. You couldn't quite see it, but there was a huge frame rate glitch. Not sure why it's not showing up on the video actually. Unfortunately for Craig there, something went wrong, potentially overheated front tyres. And now here's something very important. Bungie had disconnected. You can see next to his name there was a big red X, but his car was not ghosting. This is why I need to have ghosting on for cars that disconnect, because they just don't get out of the way. In fact, they're quite dangerous mobile chicanes. So I think that's a fairly obvious call to make for the season.
You've been awarded a time penalty for that last incident. The gap to the car ahead is 30.3 seconds.
I put up a bit of a fight here just to have some fun. However, he really had the ascendancy with those tyres. The traction was far superior. Around the outside he'll get it. Able to put the traction down, and I have my nose up the inside, but it won't make any difference around this next corner. No contact, but we had a bit of fun there, Kart Dude and I. However, what the real issue is, apart from this frame rate here, as the fireworks go off, Sauber now 3 from 3. Pure Axel picked this one up. Stewart also on the podium, so they're looking very strong. Are they the team to beat this season? I'll have to wait to Albert Park to find out. I've been Jacko. See you then.